Hey guys, this is Bando Guy 4, and I'm here in Lavender Town because that's just the music I went into the background for this bonus part. So I said I was going to go through and find the fame checker information for everyone that there is in the fame checker, and I've done that. So this will give you information on important characters in the game and a message from each of them to the character. So this tells us about Professor Oak. The sign outside of his lab says what he does. This tells you that his dream was to complete the Pokédex. This tells you that Professor Oak is the authority on Pokemon, and that trainers hold him in high regard. He lives with his grandchildren, Daisy and Blue. Agatha says that he was once tough and handsome when you battle her. And this person tells you that about the radio show that he has in Gold and Silver and their remakes. Except I think it's called Pokemon Talk in that. I don't know if this is supposed to be a different radio show or they just called it something different for this game. Here's Daisy, and she can tell you how much your Pokemon like you, and at certain times she will groom a Pokemon, which makes their happiness for you go way up. She is apparently the person who is most liked by Pokemon, and the guy who gives you the Togepi egg tells you that once when he saw her, she was grooming Pokemon, and this is the same information about Professor Oak with Daisy and Blue. And then the old lady who gave you the tea to get into Saffron City says that Daisy enjoys tea every day and visits Celadon to buy it. And there's a rumor that the Spring Pokemon Contest Grand Champion was Daisy. Of course there aren't Pokemon contests in this game. Those are Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, but apparently Daisy has competed in some herself. This is about Brock, previous city Pokemon gym leader. His favorite type is the rock type, of course. He sometimes this tells you about the bug catchers that are so common around that area, and that Brock is nothing like them. And this person wants to become a gym leader like Brock. This is about the Brock sometimes coming to Mount Moon to help that guy gather, was it just moonstones? Fossils. And then this tells you that he really laughs, but if you get him to start laughing, he won't stop. And I was forgetting to show their messages. Why do Pokemon compete in battles so hard for you? They do so because they can see the love and trust you have towards Pokemon. Never forget that. And then Daisy says, while I was comfortably enjoying my tea breaks, you've grown very skilled and powerful. I hope you'll remain a good rival to my little brother. And Brock says, in this big world of ours, there must be many tough trainers. Let's both keep training and making ourselves stronger. So now about Misty, the Cerulean City gym leader. Her favorite type is, of course, she likes all-out defenses with water-type Pokemon. One of the swimmers in there will tell you that she's a trainer who's going to keep improving and didn't think that she'd lose to us. But of course she did. There's a rumor if you talk to the guy at Seafoam Islands that I specifically pointed out in the episode where I caught Articuno. Strong trainers and water Pokemon are common sights in these parts. They say that Misty at the Cerulean Gym trains here. And if she trains there, the Pokemon there are much higher level than hers. Oh well. In the Cerulean Cape, she tells you that right outside of Bill's house, you're told that it's a famous date spot and that Misty hopes to be there. And in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, you can actually find her there. And then a rumor about her, she said to worship Lorelei of the Elite Four, which makes sense since even though Lorelei is an Ice-type trainer, she's very water-oriented as well. And Misty says, I'm going to keep training here at this gym. When I get better, I'd love to hit the road and travel. So Lieutenant Surge, the Vermilion City Vermilion City gym leader, he tells you that electric Pokemon saved him during the war, and this person served under Lieutenant Surge in the army. And he also says that he's famous for his cautious nature. Another gym trainer tells you that he installed the traps in the gym himself, which again goes towards his cautious nature. And then he's rumored to have been a pilot while in America and used the electricity generated by his Pokemon to power the plane. And he tells you, "Hey kid, you electrified me in our battle. I didn't know that there were gutsy trainers like you. It made me change my mind about you." So here's Erika, and there's some funny stuff about her. She's the Celadon City gym leader, and she tells you that she's a student of flower arranging, and her Pokemon are of the grass type to reflect that. And one of the gym trainers tells you that she's famous around Celadon City, even though she's a quiet person. This person mentions grass type Pokemon being used because of the flower arranging. Erika herself tells you that she would not collect Pokemon if they weren't very attractive. And then a journal in the mansion tells you that if you peek into the gym, you'll see her sleeping. And if you see her message, "I'm so glad there are strong trainers like you. That awareness alone inspires and motivates me to try harder. Please visit me again," and the Z's to indicate that she was dozing off yet again. For Koga, the Fuchsia City gym leader, his favorite type is of course the poison type. One of the gym trainers in there will tell you that he will keep training according to Koga's teachings. A person outside of the gym will tell you that it says her name is Shireen in this game. In the Generation 2 games, her name is Janine, and she has become the gym leader of Fuchsia City, while Koga has gone on to become a member of the Elite Four. So she does become as adept as him with poison-type Pokemon as she desires. Koga is said to have a thorough knowledge of medicine. He even concocts medicine and nurses Pokemon back to health. And the guy in the Safari Zone that I pointed out when I was in there said that Koga patrols the grounds from time to time. And his message to you: "You and I, we must both set our sights higher and work towards meeting our challenges. Now I must go train my daughter." So he says that he himself is training her, which I suppose she said as well. Sabrina, the Saffron City gym leader. A guy on 3 Islands says, "You know about a girl gym leader in Saffron City? She's a Psychic-type Pokemon, right?" And Sabrina says that she had psychic powers since she was a child, and it started when the spoon she threw bent. And she also says that she dislikes battling, but as the gym leader, must accept your challenge. People say that Sabrina can communicate with her Pokemon during battle without speaking. You actually see her do that in the anime, and it's kind of creepy. Well, she's creepy altogether in the anime, actually. What is this person like? Sabrina just wiped out the karate master next door. Which, I mean, she's using Psychic type and he's using Fighting type. It really shouldn't be that big a surprise. And she says, "The love you have towards your Pokemon, it was the power that was never bested by my Psychic power." So she admits that trusting Pokemon is a greater power than her Psychic abilities. We have Blaine, the Cinnabar Island gym leader. He's one of my favorites because of the quizzes and all that kind of stuff. "My fiery Pokemon are all rough and ready with intense heat. They incinerate all challengers." His favorite kind of Pokemon is, of course, he became lost in the mountains, and the fiery bird, I believe this is referring to his Moltres, and it let him find his way to safety, which explains his love for fire Pokemon. Cinnabar Gym's Blaine is quite the odd fellow. He's lived on the island since way before the lab was built. And there's a photo behind him in the gym, and it shows Blaine and Mr. Fuji standing together, which tells you that they've been friends for a long time. And then, if you go way out on 5 Island, you can see that he removes his dark shades when he is thinking up new quiz questions, but apart from that, he's always wearing them. And he says, my fire Pokemon, they'll become even more powerful. And now a quiz. How many kinds of fire type Pokemon are there? I actually don't know off the top of my head. We have Giovanni here, and he told us most about himself. He says that Team Rocket captures Pokemon from around the world. They're important tools for keeping our criminal enterprise going. And I am the leader, Giovanni. A Silph scientist said that he just likes strong Pokemon, though the gym he's in charge of is supposed to be ground type. Team Rocket's boss is terribly cruel. To him, Pokemon are just tools to be used. And he says that the gym is his hideout, and until he can get Team Rocket back to where it was, he planned to stay there before we beat him. The guy who helps you out, or talks to you at the beginning of each gym, is shocked that Giovanni was the leader. And then the last trainer that I battled in the story mentions Giovanni's kid who has red hair, and it has been proven that the rival in the Generation 2 games is Giovanni's son. And Giovanni will tell you, there is nothing that I wish to say to you. I will concentrate solely on bettering myself and none other. And now for the Elite Four, we have Lorelei. She just tells you that she's a member of the Elite Four, and that she is best at ice Pokemon. And all the rest of the stuff rather, is from people on her home island and near it. She tells you that Lorelei grew up on 4 Island. This journal tells you that her logical, calculated, and cool battling style has some sort of surprising secret. Lorelei has lots and lots of stuffed dolls, and this girl was peeking into her house to find that out. And this old lady says she met her Lapras as a child, and it was an Icefall Cave when she caught it. So that explains why her Lapras is her strongest Pokemon, because it's been with her all that time. We have, I need to thank you for your help, but that has nothing to do with our battles. You'd better watch out next time. Yeah, she's a lot more powerful when you battle her again. We have Bruno, and again, just telling you that he's the Elite Four, and that he lives and trains with fighting Pokemon. A journal says that he joined the Elite Four out of his burning ambition to battle the best trainers, which I greatly respect. In the Ember Spa, he tells you that he visits there occasionally to heal his injuries and his Pokemon. This person tells you that he went away disappointed when he found out that they were sold out of Rage candy bars. And this person says that Bruno trained with Brawly, who is the second gym leader of Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, who also uses fighting types. And he tells you, the superpower of your Pokemon and you I've experienced myself. Next time, maybe I should show you how to train yourself. Here's Agatha. She's, again, Elite Four. She likes Ghost-type Pokemon, and they have been beating on me recently as I've been training. The old lady's also got a really short fuse, too. It doesn't take anything to get that scary lady hollering. This journal tells you that Agatha and Professor Oak were rivals who competed against each other. Agatha tells us that same thing about Oak taking an interest in us, and that she'll show us how to battle. And an old lady tells you that Agatha is the oldest ever Elite Four member. And Agatha tells us, when you grow older, don't you dare go soft like that coot Oak. Be like me and keep battling on. And the leader of the Elite Four, Lance. He leads the Elite Four. You call him Lance. You know that dragons are mythical Pokemon. They're hard to catch and raise, but their powers are superior. They're virtually indestructible. There's no being clever with them. Dragon is actually my second favorite type. A woman in Saffron City says he stands for justice, cool yet passionate. So she's a fan of him. If you go to the Celadon department store, you see that Lance occasionally comes to buy capes. And I'm sure he does have many identical capes. I believe that. Lance's grandfather is thought to be the elder of a famous clan of Dragon Masters, and you actually meet the clan lead elder after you beat Claire in Generation 2. And Lance has a cousin who's a gym leader somewhere far away, and that is Claire. And he tells you, I'm considering going back to my hometown. I want to retrain my dragon-type Pokemon and strengthen them. I'd like to invite you to my hometown one day. That may explain why he's in Johto in the Generation 2 games, where you first meet him at the Lake of Rage. Here's Bill. He's world famous as a Pokemaniac and invented the Pokemon storage system. This person tells you that he has lots of Pokemon and several rare ones as well. He's the grandson of someone in Fuchsia City, and he liked collecting things even as a child. When Bill goes back to his home in Goldenrod City in Generation 2, his grandfather stays in his home on Cerulean Cape. Celio tells you that as a Pokemaniac, he loves all types of Pokemon, but the first one he caught was Abra. And this tells you about his home in Goldenrod City, where his family lives. And this person, and Celio also tells you that he can't stomach milk at all, and I don't know why that was thrown in there. I guess just some random piece of information. And he says, hey there, Celio had nothing but praise for you. Hearing that makes me happy. When you catch some rare Pokemon, come show me, okay? Promise. And you don't actually get anything if you have rare Pokemon to show him. And the last person in the fame checker is Mr. Fuji. This is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. The little girl says that he's a really kind person and looks after abandoned and orphaned Pokemon. The person in the Team Rocket grunt you battle in the tower says that he marched right up to their hideout and starts ranting about the Team Rocket's abuse of Pokemon. A magazine clipping shows that the application for the monthly grand prize drawing is already missing. This guy tells you that Mr. Fuji is not from these parts originally either. I don't know if he means a different region or just not Lavender Town, but he may be from where Blaine is from, as they've been friends for a long time. And this says that the shy Mr. Fuji turned down interview requests for the Pokemon Journal, but he's a kindly man who's adored and respected in Lavender Town. And his message for you: instead of hoping for the happiness of just your Pokemon, can I get you to wish for the happiness of all Pokemon? And that's all there is to the fame checker. You don't really get anything for completing it, but it's... to me personally, it's nice to see a little bit more information about these characters. I like to see that they've actually been developed slightly rather than you just meet them once, have some interaction with them, and then can completely forget about them. But that's going to be all for this bonus part, so I will see you guys in the next one.